When Ronaldo glided onto the runway for landing in Istanbul, the roar of the plane's engines echoed in his ears. The sky was gray, cold and humid. Lights flickered along the runway as if winking at him. The team's private bus waited beside the plane. Its dark windows made the interior invisible. As he stepped out, his footsteps echoed across the empty runway. The airport crowd, normally noisy and bustling, was strangely silent tonight. As his eyes adjusted to the darkness, he saw his own silhouette in the glass. But for a moment, his face looked slightly different, its expression faint and vacant. Ronaldo held his breath. His heart beat a little faster. Was this merely a trick of fatigue or a warning? He couldn't tell. Plus, when he got on the bus, the driver gripped the wheel with focused attention. His teammates sat silently, distant from one another. The bus moved, the deep rumble of the engine resonating down the aisle. As Ronaldo looked out the window, the lights of the Bosphorus Bridge flickered. Red glimmers passed among the reflections on the water. They disappeared when he blinked, leaving a faint, lingering unease in his mind. Plus, as the bus moved through the streets of Istanbul, city lights whizzed past. Ronaldo noticed his reflection in the glass was moving independently, a silhouette resembling his own face, but with completely red, expressionless eyes as if it could speak to him. His teammates on the adjacent seats remained silent. The driver concentrated, yet Ronaldo felt utterly alone. This solitude drew him inward, making him feel as though the shadows were quietly watching him. As he looked outside, some building shadows seemed to move, following him. He took a deep breath, but a stifling heaviness pressed against his chest. In his hotel room, when he closed his eyes, the dream began. He found himself in the stadium. The stands were empty, the lights flickering, but the field seemed normal, except the ball hung suspended in the air. A silhouette stood on the field. Its face was like Ronaldo's, yet expressionless and hollow. Every movement mirrored his own. Ronaldo ran to take the ball, but his feet stayed rooted to the ground. With every step he took, the silhouette advanced toward him. His heart raced and breathing became nearly impossible. Whispers echoed, resonating in his own ears. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." He opened his eyes to wake up. Sweat drenched him, his breath ragged. Outside the window, the city lights flickered, but something was missing. The silence was oppressive, the air heavy. As his eyes adjusted to the red lights, he searched for that shadow again. But there was no one there. The next morning, when he stepped onto the pitch, his teammates had already begun training. Ronaldo kicked the ball, passed it, but every ball seemed to move against his will, suspended mid-air, slowly dragging across the field. He glanced at the stands. They were empty, yet the red eyes of the shadow glimmered faintly. The coach directed the team, shouting, "Come on, quick passes!" But Ronaldo was lost in his own world, counting his steps, noticing the shadows, feeling the empty silhouette that mirrored every move he made. Fear coiled in his chest, mingling with cold sweat. When he entered the locker room, a shadow stood in the corner. Ronaldo immediately turned his eyes toward it. The silhouette's face was blank, its eyes glowing red. The ball spun in midair, as if controlled by the shadow itself. Ronaldo stepped back, holding his breath. "This can't be a dream," he whispered, but the sound vanished within the room. His teammates moved around him, yet no one noticed. The shadow had forged a bridge between dream and reality. In the hotel room at night, the dream began again. The silhouette on the field moved, blocking every one of his actions. The ball hung suspended in the air, and the lights on the field flickered. Ronaldo ran, the silhouette approaching step by step. Its presence felt at the back of his neck. Every sprint created a strangeness. Time slowed, and the boundaries of space disappeared. When he opened his eyes, the room looked normal, but a coldness and silence still lingered. Shadows seemed to wait in the corners, watching him with red eyes. On match day, as the bus drove toward the stadium, shadows reflected in the windows, red eyes glinting among the city lights. Crossing the Bosphorus Bridge, the shadows reflected on the water, and dream and reality intertwined. Ronaldo drew his head back from the window and took a deep breath, but the shadow had not vanished. His teammates remained silent. Only the drone of the engine could be heard. Ronaldo waited to approach the field, gripped by a quiet anxiety. At the stadium gate, the bus stopped. When Ronaldo stepped out, the stands were empty, and the silence was suffocating. The field looked normal, but the shadows still trailed him. With every step, the ball hovered in midair, and the silhouette advanced closer. His heart raced and breathing became difficult. Ronaldo scanned the stands. There was no one, but the red eyes glimmered in every corner. He rubbed his eyes, but an invisible presence continued to watch him. On the pitch, dream and reality merged. Ronaldo tried to dribble the ball, but his steps stayed rooted. The silhouette approached rapidly. Its presence felt at the back of his neck. The stands darkened, shadows multiplied. Every step was a nightmare, every breath a struggle. Ronaldo shouted, but no sound came out. The ball spun in midair on its own, and the silhouette blocked every move he made. As he moved along the sideline corridor, the walls trembled slightly. Each step echoed, yet no one was there. Turning a corner, a shadow darted past, red eyes flashing. Ronaldo held his breath and stepped back. The ball hung suspended, the silence oppressive. "You've seen me, there's no turning back now." The whisper echoed in his ears. Ronaldo froze, unable to tell dream from reality. When Ronaldo brought the ball to his feet in the locker room, he saw the silhouette once again. This time, however, the shadow was more alive, faster. Red eyes glowed in every corner of the room. Its presence felt at the back of his neck. As Ronaldo dribbled the ball, the lines of the field began to ripple. It was as if a kind of liquid flowed across the pitch. The ground stretched and bent, the lines merging into each other. With every step, the ball hung suspended in the air, moving beyond his control. "This can't be real," he whispered to himself, but his voice echoed through the room. The silhouette advanced step by step, a strange smile on its face. Ronaldo tried to control the ball, but the shadow pulled it away. Every pass became a nightmare. When he left the hotel room and entered the corridor, the silence deepened. The corridor lights flickered, shadows twisted along the walls. Footsteps mixed with his own, and wherever he went, he felt a presence following him. He stood in front of a door and opened it slightly. The room inside was empty, but red eyes suddenly appeared and vanished. Ronaldo held his breath and closed the door. A single sentence kept running through his mind. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." Before the match, when he stepped onto the field, the stands were empty. The stadium, which should have been full, was dark and silent. Lights flickered and shadows danced across the field. Ronaldo counted his steps, dribbled the ball, but the shadows took control of it. Suddenly, a whisper rose from the stands. "Come, join us." Ronaldo turned around, but no one was there. The shadow was still there. The silhouette seemed to cover the entire field, watching him with red eyes. Returning to the locker room, the shadow appeared again. This time it moved like smoke, seeping from the walls, extinguishing lights, and following Ronaldo with its red eyes. His heart raced and breathing became difficult. The ball spun in midair on its own, and the whispers echoed louder in the room. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." When he closed his eyes in the hotel room, the dream began again. Ronaldo found himself in the stadium. The stands were empty, the field shook, and the silhouette stood right beside him. Every step, every breath was controlled by the shadow. The ball hovered in the air, and whenever Ronaldo tried to strike it, the silhouette blocked him. With each step, red lights rose from beneath the ground, filling the air with a terrible stench. Dream and reality intertwined, and Ronaldo could no longer tell what was real and what was a dream. On match day, while taking the team bus to the stadium, the silence was suffocating. Apart from the hum of the engine, no sound existed. As Ronaldo looked out the window, shadows accompanied him along Istanbul's streets. Crossing the Bosphorus Bridge, red glimmers appeared in the bridge lights and disappeared abruptly. His teammates remained silent. Only the engine and his own breath could be heard. Ronaldo rubbed his eyes, but the shadow had not disappeared. It merged with his reflection in the glass, staring back at him with red eyes. When he got off the bus at the stadium gates, the stands were empty. The silence was oppressive. Where people normally cheered, this emptiness sent shivers down his spine. As he stepped onto the field, the shadow was once again behind him. The ball hovered in midair, and the silhouette blocked every move he made. Ronaldo fixed his eyes on the stands. Red lights flashed briefly, then disappeared. With each step, the silhouette drew closer, making it harder for him to breathe. On the pitch, dream and reality merged. As Ronaldo dribbled the ball, time slowed, every movement delayed, and the silhouette advanced step by step. The stands darkened and shadows multiplied. Every step was a nightmare, every breath a struggle. Ronaldo shouted, but no sound came out. The ball spun in midair, and the silhouette blocked every move. His gaze was locked on the silhouette's glowing red eyes. Returning to the locker room, the shadow had become more aggressive. It seeped from the walls, extinguished lights, and controlled the ball. Ronaldo, breathless, his heart racing, watched as the shadow swung the ball in midair, chasing him in a strange rhythm. At one point, the silhouette flung the ball toward Ronaldo. He tried to control it, but the shadow pulled it away. Whispers filled the room, and red eyes glimmered in every corner. As he moved along the corridor at the edge of the pitch, the walls trembled slightly. Each step echoed, but no one was there. Turning a corner, a shadow moved quickly, red eyes flashing. Ronaldo held his breath and stepped back. The ball hung suspended in the air, and the silence was suffocating. The whisper echoed in his ears again. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." Ronaldo froze, dream and reality blending together. As he left the hotel, the night air was sharp and cold. The team bus moved silently again. Apart from the hum of the engine, no other sound existed. Looking out the window, he saw red glimmers under the streetlights, disappearing whenever he blinked. The shadow appeared on the other side of the glass. The silhouette mirrored his movements, staring at him with red eyes. Ronaldo clutched his chest, sitting rigidly in his seat. Breathing was difficult. Time felt heavy. Was this just a dream, or was it real? He could not tell. When they arrived at the stadium, the stands were completely empty. The field lights flickered and shadows merged into one another. As Ronaldo stepped onto the pitch, the ball moved on its own, as if every line and light on the field was controlled by the shadow. Suddenly, a faint whisper rose from the stands. "Come, join us." Ronaldo turned around, but no one was there. The silhouette on the field grew more distinct, closer. Red eyes glowed, and he felt its breath at the back of his neck. Entering the locker room, the corridors stretched and twisted like a labyrinth. The walls trembled as if breathing, and the lights flickered on and off. The shadow appeared at every turn, seemingly shaping the space around him. Ronaldo entered a door, which shut behind him. The room was empty, but red lights flickered in the corners. Then a whisper. "There's no turning back now." His heart pounded, his breath caught in his throat. While sleeping in the hotel room, the dream returned. Ronaldo was alone in the field, the stands dark, the ball suspended in midair. The silhouette stood right beside him, blocking every step. Ronaldo struck the ball, but it flew in the wrong direction under the shadow's power. Red lights rose from beneath the ground, and his breath stopped. Dream and reality had completely merged. Ronaldo could no longer control himself. The shadow was beginning to seize his mind. Entering the locker room, the shadow attacked. It seeped from the walls, controlled the ball, and extinguished the lights. Ronaldo, gasping, his heart racing, tried to control the ball, but the shadow blocked every move. Suddenly, the shadow hurled the ball. Ronaldo tried to catch it. Whispers echoed in every corner of the room. Red eyes glimmered on every wall, in every corner. During the match, the stands suddenly filled, but the people were hollow, expressionless like silhouettes. Red eyes spread across the field, and shadows darkened the lights. Ronaldo tried to dribble, but the shadow blocked every move. Whispers echoed in his ears. Time slowed on the field, and the ball hung suspended in midair. Every step was a nightmare, every pass a struggle. As he moved along the corridor at the edge of the pitch, the walls trembled as if breathing. The shadow appeared at every corner, red eyes never leaving him. Ronaldo tried to control the ball, but the shadow blocked every step. The whispers rang in his ears, suffocating him. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." The sentence spun in his mind like a nightmare. When he closed his eyes in the hotel room, the final dream began. Ronaldo was alone on the field, the stands dark, the shadow right beside him. Every step was blocked by the shadow, and he lost control of the ball. Ronaldo could not escape the nightmare on the field. The silhouette's red eyes glowed with every step, and whispers echoed in his ears. "You've seen me. There's no turning back now." Just as the silhouette was about to reach him, a figure appeared at the other end of the scene. A long-bearded, hooded man. His eyes held wisdom and a dark power. He shouted with an Istanbul accent, "Stop! I can end this nightmare, but only if you are prepared." The man traced symbols in the air, murmuring an ancient charm. Red lights began to encircle the shadow, but the shadow did not merely retreat. Laughing, it grew even larger. Ronaldo realized that the nightmare could not be fully controlled by any spell or seer. "Your fear is my nourishment," the shadow said, its voice suddenly transforming into Ronaldo's own. Every whisper, every step surrounded him. The seer quickly drew a circle. Candles ignited, and Istanbul's ancient symbols glimmered. For a moment, Ronaldo felt the power of the light, but just as liberation seemed near, The shadow did not touch him, yet it altered the entire scene in an instant. Ronaldo now walked through an empty Istanbul street. The silence was so deep he could hear his own breathing. And behind him, the seer was gone. The silhouette watched him from the sky, from the top of a building, its red eyes glowing, whispering silently, "You've seen me, but I will always be with you." Ronaldo stopped, his heart racing. Istanbul's mystical lights shimmered above the city, yet there was no salvation. The seer had only temporarily delayed the shadow. Ronaldo understood that he could not completely defeat the nightmare, but now he had to face it.